And for more on this, Sabria Chaudhry is joining us live from Houston, US. Sabria is the co-founder for the Coalition of Human Rights and Democracy in Bangladesh and a political analyst. Welcome to the broadcast, Sabria.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'll begin with my first question. Ahead of Bangladesh's 12th general election, the country saw violence and faced boycott by the opposition party BNP. And as incumbent Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is likely to win, is boycott really a solution? And has BNP lost an opportunity here?
Well, in order to answer that question, I need to go back to the 2018 election when they wanted to boycott, but they were convinced by many different quarters, including the international community, to join in the election and participate. And what happened was that there was a sort of conspiracy where third parties joined together to form what was supposed to be the opposition, but in reality they were related to the ruling Army League party. So in that case also, when the opposition had joined the election, it was the same kind of what was famously called the farcical election, where there was ballot vote stuffing the night before, etc. So participating in the election hadn't helped in 2018. So I think that from their point of view, having a repetition of the same kind of scenario was not an option.
And Sabria, now Sheikh Hasina has been lauded for economic growth and development in the last decade, while the opposition was visible only in protests and strikes. And in the last 4 or 5 months as well, we have seen. Now, do you think that there is an alternative that the BNP party could use instead of boycotting?
I'm really not sure. I know that this time around there was a very heavy dependence on international support. So the United States State Department had sent multiple delegations over the last year and a half. And there were many meetings, many kinds of talks about how these elections must be free and fair and inclusive. When gradually it was seen that this is not happening, from the month of October, we have seen that there's been a kind of retraction of the international community. For what reason, we don't know. And there was no insistence on forming a caretaker government. And the ruling party was allowed to absolutely do as they pleased. So what the future is for the opposition, I would not know. At the moment, they are completely handicapped, because 21,000 people have been arrested in the just last 2 months. And that's not including what's been going on for the last 15 years since the Army League has been in power. So without the help of the international community, I would think that the opposition feels very much handicapped.
Now, Sabria, the incumbent Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and the ruling Awami League is facing pressure from Western countries to hold free and fair elections. How valid is this US public criticism?
It was very strong. As I said, until October. We were convinced that these would be free and fair and inclusive elections. And if the Awami League had not agreed to it, and if there was any indication that that was not happening, that there might be further sanctions or maybe economic sanctions on Bangladesh pre-election, that did not happen. And as I said, there was not even any insistence on forming a caretaker system to oversee an inclusive and free and fair election. So what the plan is for as far as our international community is concerned, we don't know. At the moment, we are everybody is shocked, especially the human rights sector. We're very shocked because human rights violations are at exponential rate in Bangladesh. Even recently during the campaign, even peaceful demonstrations from the opposition parties are not tolerated. So it's really hanging on the balance at the moment. I think in the next few days, weeks and months, we'll know more.
Yes, Sabria. And the economy, as I already mentioned, has seen its highs and lows under incumbent Prime Minister Hasina. But the lows, however, are recent and the economy is still in turmoil. There's high inflation, depleted foreign reserves. How do you think Prime Minister Hasina will turn this around, as she's likely to win?
I think that one of the things that we feel certain about is that the economy is not likely to improve any time in the near future. That might be the only thing that starts a collapse in this regime, because, as you said, the foreign reserves are depleting. There has been massive corruption and plundering of national treasury by the ruling elite party and their cronies. And if there are economic sanctions by the international community, then there's going to be a real danger situation economically for Bangladesh. Already what we know is that the garment sector is suffering. There are fewer and fewer orders for the garment sector. There's been a lot of turmoil among the garments workers who want higher wages. So, and that is the #1 export of Bangladesh. So it's really another thing that's quite chaotic at the moment.
Thanks, Sabrina, for joining in and sharing your time and insights with us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.